Hello all, I'm going to do a quick walk around of my brand new Aprilia 457. I believe it's a 2024 model. I don't know, we're getting closer to 2025 models, but I think they came out as 2024s. Literally just got it yesterday. I've ridden it home from the dealership and then rode it up here. A lot of you who know me know exactly where I am. Anyway, first impressions is nothing big sticks out wrong with it for sure. Everything is going well so far. I was a little bit worried about the tires, to be honest. These are some really generic, no-name tires. They say Aprilia on them, which is weird. Look at this. But anyway, they're Euro Grip, Pro Torque, something or other, and the rear is a 150/60. And the front, I believe, is a 110/70. Should be. It's under there, but yeah. Maybe I should back up a little bit about me. I've been riding a really long time. I was an expert racer for some years. My first race bike that I bought for racing was the first Japanese fuel-injected 600. So you can do the, go back and look into that to figure out when I started racing. I ride a lot on the track. As a matter of fact, I mostly only ride on the track these days. I don't really enjoy riding on the street that much. So eventually I'll be riding this on the track, but on the street as well. So, again, nothing really sticks out as anything wrong with it. It's a little short. The seat to peg relationship for me is a little short. I'm just under 6 foot, about 200 pounds. The suspension, when you sit on it, feels a little soggy and soft, but when you get rolling, it's actually not that bad. In comparison, I have a 2020 KTM RC390 that the stock setup on that was worse. The newer 390s, though, the second generation, whatever we're calling them, they're a lot better. And as a matter of fact, they're probably set up better from stock than this is. Just a little bit more about me. I just sold my Ducati Panigale V4, which I rode mostly on the track as well. So I've been around some bikes. I've ridden lots and lots of bikes, including on the track. Anyway, back to this bike. So I can't rev it too much past 5,000. So can't really give you too much on the motor. It feels good so far. I mean, it's obviously going to feel a little slow, but feels good so far. There's some stats. I've got 46 miles on it. It's in the sun a little bit there, sorry. Yeah, nothing really sticks out as wrong. It handles really good. It goes side to side really well. It almost falls into corners a little bit. Trail braking's no problem, doesn't change lines. I haven't really tried to bury it hard into a corner yet, just because I don't know anything about these tires. But so far, no slips. I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit hesitant to do much with these tires, but I kind of started going a little more. I mean, I'm not going crazy with it. It's the street, right? You can see I didn't get all the way down to the edge. But no slips. I had one slip that I can't honestly say was the tires. It was the rear tire. It might have been a little bit of sand in the road. I don't know. It kind of slipped a little quick. Didn't really feel like a normal tire slip. So can't say it was the tires. So far, so good. I'm a little impressed actually, because I was really not expecting too much out of these. Anyway, yeah, I like it. Again, nothing wrong. It's enjoyable. I would want to do suspension, but it doesn't get in the way of having fun on the street for sure. I can still ride it. It's not that awful far off for street riding. I'll get it to the track once I get it broken in, and then I'll know more about how it works. I probably won't end up doing suspension on it before the first time I go to the track, so we'll see. Brakes are good. Front brakes certainly works great. It reminds me a little bit of my KTM actually. Just nothing much to say other than it works great. Didn't really use the rear brake much. It works. That's about all I can say. Engine works great. No fueling issues, no weird problems. It revs up through the range. I might have got it to 6,000 a few times. But otherwise, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Can't wait to get it to the track to really understand what it does. But yeah, it's fun. It's oh, and other things. I'll go through a couple more things. So I'm almost 6 foot. It doesn't feel cramped other than the seat to peg, which you kind of can understand because they're making this kind of a newer rider bike. The seat to handlebar relationship is fine. Again, brakes work good. Clutch is a little wonky. It engages way out toward the end of the travel, like, you know, way out here somewhere. Like you're letting the clutch out. Okay, is it going to engage? Is it going to engage? And it engages way out. Whatever. Throttle return spring actually is quite light. This might be the lightest throttle return spring I've ever had on a new motorcycle. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird. But you're holding it wide open a lot anyway, so controls feel good. The shift, it shifts well. It doesn't feel sticky when shifting. Mirrors are okay for a sport bike. Yeah. Hey, there's a couple of things I forgot in the first part. Is it a comfortable motorcycle? For the most part, yes. Other than the seat to peg is tight for taller people, the seat's good. The seat to handlebars, nice. It's fairly upright. It kind of reminds me a little bit of my 2020 KTM 390 in that regard. It's probably a little more sporty than the Kawasaki Ninja 400. I've not ridden the 500 yet. Would I tour on it? I might. Yeah, I might. I mean, depending. Once I get some more miles on it and get the engine broken in, that's when I'll know if I'd ever want to ride it very long on the freeway or open roads. But it could be done. And put a little bit of luggage on it and go. And normally I'd be taking my Yamaha Tenere 700, but it's got knobbies, so I can't really ride it the way I want it to on nice roads. It's comfy. I enjoy it. It's got a pretty big gas tank. I think I can get over 200 miles of range out of that if I was looking at the electronics correctly, so that's pretty good. I prefer, for track riding, my 390. It's just the way that they set that thing up, the way that you can move around on it. It's got a tiny little gas tank. It's just a nice way to get around on a motorcycle on a track. I'm gonna like that one better as far as that. As far as actually handling and, you know, lap times and all that, who knows yet? I don't know. Comparing this a little bit to the Aprilia 660, which I've got some miles on, this is more comfy to me, other than the seat to peg. I would rather ride this on the street, to be honest. It's a little more comfy. And the reason why is because the 660 traps my legs right here under this kind of wing on the gas tank, and this one doesn't, so that's kind of interesting. Obviously the 660 is a faster bike and it's going to get you around the racetrack faster, but for street I think I'd rather be riding this, honestly. But yeah, comfy, having a good time. Again, nothing sticks out as wrong for sure. It's doing everything pretty well. I just wish I could rev it past 5,000 to really understand it. But that'll come later after I break it in. Okay, I'm down to the bottom of the mountain and it's worth a few more words. I decided to go for it in a couple of corners. Just really get it in there, trail bake hard all the way down to the apex, get back on the gas. And guess what? It only got better. I really took it through a couple of corners pretty much as fast as I want to go on the street, and it felt even better than going at a slower speed. This thing is pretty impressive, guys. I'm really enjoying it. Another thing I didn't talk about was the dash. I don't really care about dashes and electronics and all the functions. I'm sure somebody else is going to do a better job at that than I will in a video, but I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying this. This is going to be good. Might need a little bit of rear ride height, just a little bit, and lucky enough that's the only adjustment we get in the rear is preload. Well, preload's one way to adjust ride height, let's say, so that'll help. But I have not touched the suspension at all, and it's working pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm just about back home. I've got over 100 miles on the bike now, 112. And I was doing a lot of city riding coming down from the mountain, and I don't like city riding. I never do. But one thing I can say is it doesn't really like normal kind of city riding bumps, like, you know, crashy kind of expansion joint bumps. I suspect this bike has kind of a heavy wheel and tire combination. I'm not sure, but it feels like that's the way it is. It just isn't able to deal with, you know, quick small bumps very well. It's kind of crashy over them. Back to the touring question. Obviously, it's not a touring bike. Touring on the KTM RC390 is out of the question. Yeah, but this thing you might be able to do it. My legs are a little cramped, and my wrists get a little tired from the position, but certainly it's more doable than something like the KTM 390. Now, I've ridden a couple of the other smaller bikes. I'll try to remember and do a little bit of comparison. I really do like the Yamaha R3. It's a little slow, but it handles well. It does everything right. It feels good. I like it. I like this one better. I've ridden the Kawasaki Ninja 400. It feels as if it was, it was initially conceived of as only a street bike. It's got high bars. It almost feels like a sport touring bike to me. It's good. It's fast. You can make it really fast on the track. I got no problem with that. But it doesn't feel like it was conceived of as a kind of a sport bike, track bike, where this one does. This feels like it's conceived of as a pure sport bike. Not quite to the level of the KTM RC390. I mean, that's just pure sport bike, track bike. And I love it for that reason. I'm going to continue to love it. But this one's pretty close. I'm enjoying it. We'll see how it goes when I get it out on the track and compare it to my 390. All right.